Are you having trouble with interceptions? Do you receive a contact of a ship maybe 50 kilometers away and you don't know how to efficiently plot a course in order to intercept it? Well, there is a methodology to it, and I here going to explain the one that I use. So stay tuned if you want to know how to plot an efficient interception course to an enemy. There are a lot of different ways to find a target that you have been getting a report of and that you don't exactly know the course and speed of. You can do it doing several techniques. The one that I'm going to explain here is the one I use. There are others. If there is enough interest in these kind of videos, I will probably go on and explain others. But this is the one I personally use in my gameplay. This is the one you are going to see used in my videos, in my careers, because I think it's the most intuitive, easy to understand, and probably one of the most accurate. Again, there are others, and as always in this kind of simulators, you have different solutions to the same problem. Different situations, also different solutions can be better. But using this in general, 99.9% of the time is the best way to find a target. Now, first of all, we are going to set one rule in stone. Not every target is meant to be intercepted. There are several times that you will get a report, be it through radio, be it through your hydrophones when you are doing a sound check, that you will get a contact that's very far away, moving away from you, and that's absolutely useless to go after, especially so in the early war with the Type 2 submarines, which are particularly slow on the surface. It's very hard to catch a convoy that's going at maybe 9 knots in a ship that, if you go to flank speed, you are going to make 14. If that convoy is maybe 80 kilometers away, it's going to take a long time to catch up with it. So again, sometimes you just need to let it go. If there's a convoy that's 80 plus kilometers away, moving away from you, just forget about it. It's as if you have never listened to it. Another thing, another totally different matter is when you find a convoy at long range that's coming for you. Then you can hunt it. But remember, the most important rule, don't go after contacts that you are not meant to chase. Now here we have a scenario where we can do an intercept, and it's going to be an easy one. The target is moderately far away, but is coming directly for us. Its speed is not very fast, it's closing in. That's the most important part, it's closing in. If there's something that's moving away and is maybe 20 kilometers away, go for it. But if it's farther than 30 to 50 kilometers away, just forget about it. It's not really worth it. But in this case, we are going for it. So let's make this easy. Let's go doing this step by step. Step number one is to know which direction that convoy is going relative to you. Whether it's going to towards your port or starboard. How to do that? Well, you plot a course directly for the intercepted signature, like you can see in this image. Move maybe 14, 15 kilometers, 10 to 15 works very well. Go to the surface, move at fast speed, which means engine setting number 3 or number 4, which means standard ahead or full ahead. And once you are at your destination, dive and do a hydrophone check. After you have moved those 10 to 15 kilometers and dived again to check the sound, you will hear your target again, chances are. Maybe you lost it, but most of the time you will reacquire it. This is the same scenario as before. We moved those 15 kilometers and the target that before was north to northeast now is clearly northwest, which is telling me clearly that the direction of this target is either west, southwest, or northwest. At any rate, I need to move westwards to check at least that parameter. So we are going to move westward for another 10 to 15 kilometers and we are going to check it again. Now before doing that, we are going to draw a line from our submarine, rough spot, no need to be super precise here, towards the middle of the range estimation that we have from our sonarman. Here, as you can see, we are between 20 and 30 kilometers, so we are going to draw a line maybe 25 kilometers long towards that spot. Then we will surface again, full speed ahead, move, checking the direction of the contact. In this case, we are going to go purely westward. and we are going to repeat the process. Now time has passed, we have moved those 10 to 15 kilometers away, and we now note the new position of the contact. You can see it's directly towards our west. So now I pretty much know the course of the enemy. It's going west to southwest. And the speed I can actually calculate, I'm going to explain it in a second, but right now we have a pretty accurate idea of where the target is, which course does it have, and which speed it's moving at. Now, how to find the actual speed of the target that you are trying? Well, I don't do it because I'm pretty good at eyeballing the speed of a target as I track it. But if you want to be concise and have a rough idea of the actual speed of the target and be sure about it, take note of this time when you are making the first detection and the first drawing of contact, and the time that you do the second one. Then measure the distance between both contacts, and the distance between them, divide them by the time, and you get the speed. It's very easy. So if there's a distance of 20 miles between two different contacts that you have made, and 2 hours have been spent, well, it's easy to know that the speed is 10 knots. As for the course, it's as easy as drawing a line through all the contacts that you have made, and use the tool to measure the course of the target. Again, I don't usually do that because I have a lot of experience with submarine simulators, and I pretty much can extrapolate more or less that, for instance, the target that we have now here is on a course of maybe 250 or so degrees. I don't need to measure it. I know it just by looking at the contacts. But if you want to be sure and be certain and have specific numbers for those parameters, you can do it yourself, as I just explained it to you. In this particular scenario, we already have everything that we need. We do have two different contacts that we know more or less the course of the enemy, and now we can draw a line in that roughly that course, and we are going to run until we find that target. And after a while of running in the course that I predicted, look at that. We caught up with the enemy ship exactly in the position I was hoping to find it. Actually, this is from my last career video. You can check it in the description. I'm going to link it. And yeah, it's as easy as that. Of course, there are going to be different scenarios from ships that are moving away from you, that are moving closer to you, that they are going to pass through your position because of whatever, bad weather. If you need to do more takes on the bearing and position of a ship, do it. This process, I did it in 2 steps. Usually it's all you have to do. Usually at the second take of information, you already have enough information to do a proper interception, but you may need to do a third one to be sure. Well, if that's so, do it. Maybe you didn't take the time in the first contact and you want to measure speed, so you do just one more repeat of this technique just to get the proper speed to the target. Adapt it however you want to, but the bottom point is to get an intercept, and doing this you are going to get it. Here we are seeing a still of another intercept that I did in my last video, in my last career of U4. Again, link is in the description. And here you can see another instance of how does it look when you do it several times in a row. You can see my different contact lines that I was getting each one of the times, and I have a pretty good idea of how that convoy is moving. It's clearly moving northeast. And all I have to do is to, well, set a leading course that is going to put me in an interception course with it until I properly see it with my own eyes or my crew detects it. So, well, that's it. That's the technique I usually use in order to find intercept contacts that I get information from radio transmissions or my own hydrophone crew when I'm doing sound checks in my submarine. I hope it helped. Any questions you have, please feel free to ask in the comment section below. If you think this was informative enough and it helps you, well, please give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so, and if you really want to see me do more of this stuff, well, feel free to support me through YouTube, joining the supporters of the channel, or through Patreon. As always, thank you very much for watching, and see you later.